Joining me in the Room podcast for the first time to talk about his amateur scrap happening at Combat Zone 81 in a couple of weeks is Jojo Gonzalez. What's up, my friend? Welcome to the show for the first time.
Hey man, what's up? Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Hey, man, I heard from you from another fighter in the area, said I had to get a word with you, learn about your journey. And man, here we are, bro. How excited are you? Your second fight as an amateur happening this year, and for Combat Zone, a huge promotion. Talk about it, man. How excited are you?
I'm super excited. My opponent's, coming out of a phenomenal gym, so I'm always been one to scrap and look forward to, kind of a tough opponent. So I'm excited, a little nervous because it's been a little bit since I fought because I got injured, but I'm excited.
Now, your first amateur fight was back for CES 72, I believe, in March, correct?
Yes, sir.
Came away with a third round submission, man. That's a big task as an amateur fighter coming in as a debut. Fighting for CES, they don't have many amateurs on their cards. This was a special one in Connecticut. How special was it for you to basically fight in your backyard and for CES?
It was awesome. A lot of my family and friends got to show up. It was a great event. They treated us well as the fighters. They hosted a great show, like a great showing, great cards. Had a couple buddies fight on the card too. So it was just a great experience overall. How they had it for us, and I enjoyed. I would love to fight for them again.
Excellent. Well, they don't have too many amateur cards, but like I said, when they do, it's a very special event. You talked about buddies. I do believe you're at a Nick Newell gym, FAA, and a couple of buddy training partners did fight on that card. I believe professionals. Pretty cool getting ready for a fight with training partners and then fighting on the same card as you, right?
Yeah, actually at his sensei's gym, Jeremy Libicheski, out in Springfield, Mass. But we do go down and train with Nick Newell a bunch of times. I love Nick Newell, so he's awesome. But yeah, I had a couple buddies, from FACT fight and then FAA Springfield too. So it was just like a really great overall night.
Excellent. Yeah, you speak of Jeremy. I know Nate Russell is out of that camp, and Jeremy trained and helped Nick a long ways in his career. So yeah, great they have a couple of gyms to jump around there. But let's get to this fight, and then we'll talk a little bit about your past and how you got into this journey. But you are fighting at Combat Zone. What was the decision to get on that card? Because it's a little ways away from you, and I would imagine I don't know if you're going to be the whole the town favorite, the New England favorite, but how'd you get on this card?
So we just put in a bunch of like my name everywhere and see what would hit first, and Combat Zone hit first. We were supposed to fight at NEF a couple actually on Nate Russell's card, but I couldn't get cleared by my eye doctor, so we get cleared now. We're all set to roll, and yeah. So up there, I hope I'm the favorite New England kid, coming over there. So yeah, we just threw in the name and see what would hit first, and we got the call from Combat Zone, which was great because heard they have a very very good like how they go about things is it's fun from a bunch of other people that told me.
Excellent. Well, you talked about this opponent and you being the New England guy. I believe he's coming from New York, correct?
Danbury, I think Danbury, Connecticut.
Oh, all right. So you guys are both from Connecticut, but I think if are you from Connecticut or just train there?
Yeah, I'm from Willimantic, Connecticut.
All right. So, man, two Connecticut guys coming in. Do you know anything about this kid? You said he comes from a tough gym, but do you know anything about him as an amateur or his background?
No, I know he has a couple fights, but couple of MMA fights, but he has really good stand up from what I heard, and really good jiu-jitsu.
As,
It's coming out of Grover's gym.
Texera, there you go. A lot of those guys are making their way on the cards around New England, man. They're sprouting out, and they're like you said, they're putting some very competitive fighters out there. But as far as him, I mean, being this early in your careers, new amateurs, is it? you go just by your coach. Is there anything you can watch, or that doesn't matter? It's all direction from your coaches.
It's a lot of direction from my coaches, but I mean, I watch around. I try to, like watch the UFC guys and high level guys, just what they do, their foot placement and everything. Because I'm still new to this game as well as like, I'm just not wrestling anymore, but I'm still new, so I try to pick up and I try to amplify some of those things in the gym. If I like something that I think would fit with my style of fighting, I try to implement it in the gym or when we're sparring and stuff like that.
Well, let's talk a little bit about how you got to this point, my man. You talked about, mentioned wrestling a little bit. Where did this journey? How'd you get involved in martial arts? What's your background? Wrestler in high school? How'd you go about to getting to this point?
So in high school, I actually was like super against fighting when I was in high school. Like I was like, I'd never fight. Like my dad wasn't the biggest fan of it either. So I was always kind of against it. Then I was like kind of winding down. COVID had COVID had hit, and then a couple of my buddies were like, "Oh, we spar here and there. You should come by." So I came by. I had a really good time, and then once COVID was over, I my buddy Isaiah Longs kind of mentioned the gym to me, and I kind of put it off because I was so focused on wrestling, and I had extreme goals to finish up my last year because I took my fifth year. So I kind of put it off. I was like, whatever, like not really like. I'm just trying to focus on one thing right now. I'll get to it when I can, and then after wrestling season's over, I felt like this kind of void. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I've always been used to being a competitor, and combat sports are my thing. I love combat sports, so I was like, I might as well try it. And then went to the gym. Jared welcomed me with open arms, and and its relationship kind of grown, and now I'm trying to be a fighter.
Well, I'm sure you're helping them guys around, guys and gals in there with some of your wrestling background. But, some of your main training partners that are helping you through this camp.
So I had Tim Flores. His Instagram handle is Highway Tim. Isaiah Longs, which we call him Flash. He's actually on the same card as I am going to be on. He's fighting too. Jake Kasky, of course, he's coming up. My boy. Jacob Martin. He's another New England guy. He's a Division One wrestler out of Hofstra. He's an amateur too, but he's pretty good. Brendan Teixeira, he's another guy out of our gym. So I have and his cousin Shane as well. But like my camp has been the guys that have been coming have been like really like pushing me to be better and putting me in situations where I'm uncomfortable, and not only just pushing me but pushing themselves so I get the best of rounds and try to win this fight.
Well, this is your second training camp getting ready here. Is there anything that's changed in this training camp compared to the first time you stepped in there?
Uh, the first one, the first one, I was like, it was weird because like I was supposed to fight on another card, and then that got canceled. Then they found the CES one, and then my guy pulled out. So that first training camp was like two training camps, and kind of like because I was helping other guys too. Once my fight got canceled, and then they're like, "Oh, we found you another guy." So that's why I was at 160 catch weight. But so the second one, I just kind of been really focusing on just getting in even better shape than the last one, and just dialing in on my striking and my wrestling, making sure that there's no mistakes on the ground because he's got he's like really good jiu-jitsu.
Well, life of an amateur, my friend. Fights pulling in, fights pulling out, catch weights, all this. This fight you're fighting at, I believe, is 150 pounds.
Yeah.
So you're coming down. What's your ideal weight? I mean, it's still young in your career. You guys are still growing and putting on muscle or just developing your bodies. What do you think where you fit in? Where do you want to fit in as far as a weight class?
So right now, just play around, see where I feel the best at. But eventually, if I go pro or when I go pro, I'll be 145. It's the height. It's the height difference. Like I don't mind cutting weight. I haven't been 150 in forever since I think my freshman year in college. But if sometimes you got to cut a little bit more weight to be the best. So
Well, you mentioned, a training partner on this card heading up to New Hampshire with you. Who else is making the trek? Who will be in your corner? Who's going to be, helping you along in those rounds?
Jeremy Lubachevsky is going to be there, and our boxing coach Scott, he'll be in there too. Um, just make me feel overall comfortable. And I think I don't know who I'm going to have as a holder in the back room, but we're just going to see who's available at the time to hold for me.
Well,
But
second time around, my man. Nerves going in here. What's the thought process differently than the first time going in there? Because you are one fight in, you got a little experience, but what's the thought process compared to that first time?
um, I think it's kind of the same. It's as I mean, there's no cage on a wrestling mat, but it is a circle. So, and I mean, it's not a circle again, but it's kind of like the enclosed area. I mean, I didn't really my first fight. I wasn't really nervous per se, but I was like I was ready. I was excited. So I'm still super excited. My nerves tend to kick in like the week before, and then once it's fight day, I kind of just it kind of just goes away as soon as I step out there. So I mean, they're here and there, but I've been learning how to control them and deal with them, and just focus on just sticking to the game plan when we go out there.
Excellent. Well, when we first started talking, you mentioned how you weren't totally into the fight game. Your dad wasn't into it. You mentioned that first fight, you had family and friends there. Have they made a full circle? What's their thoughts on you in this new endeavor of fighting in the cage?
They love it. My mom's a huge fan. Mom's a huge fan, which is crazy, but she loves it. She's very supportive of it. I mean, my dad's even though my dad doesn't like it, he's super supportive. He goes to everything I've done. My rugby match, my rugby tournaments, my wrestling matches. I don't think he didn't miss a single match in college when I was wrestling. He traveled everywhere, went everywhere away overnights. So they're always been there. They're always been supportive no matter what I do. My family and friends, they'll probably bring like a bus load up. I have a bunch of people been hitting me up for tickets and stuff and saying that they're going to be there. So I think it'll be a kind of packed house on the Gonzalez side. So
Wow, my man. Well, congratulations, my man. Great things ahead of you. Heard great things from you. You got guys out there that are already veterans in the game telling me I need to reach out with you and get a word because you're something to look out for in the future. So congratulations on that, man. On this new journey.
thank you so much.
Well, as far as early in the game here, we're in August, fighting at the end of the month. You're looking to get in there again by the end of the year. What's your output as far as the end of 2023 heading into the new year?
Fight as many times as I can. I want to get one August, and then if I'm not banged up too bad, or everything goes well, and no, I don't get hurt or anything, I probably try to fight on a September or October card, and then just keep it rolling, just fighting as much as I can, getting as much experience as I can, because I am behind the ball a little bit on the whole striking and like fighting game. So we fight as much as we can, see where it leads to, and then hopefully turn pro within 2 years, 3 years.
Excellent, my man. No rush, no rush. Don't mind seeing you as an amateur. Maybe take a couple of belts along the way down the line. But with that said, my friend Jojo, second fight in as an amateur. You're in a new cage, a new state, and fighting a little ways from your home. But you'll have a lot of fans and family there. What do we expect to see from you on your second amateur fight, fighting at Combat Zone 81?
I'm looking to hopefully keep it on my feet, as much as we can. Like I said, I've wrestled all my life, and wrestling's been my life. I need to learn. I need to get more experience, being able to be on my feet for what is it, 9 minutes, So like keeping it on my feet, keeping the striking going, seeing what's there. How can I set up everything into my wrestling? Because there's gonna be guys that are gonna be better wrestlers than me, and that's just it. Or they're gonna have really world class jiu-jitsu like my opponent's gonna have. So it's just like making sure when I do take a shot, it's not putting me in a position where I can get submitted.
Excellent, my man. Well, it seems like you have everything under control. You're under a great camp. fighting for a great organization, and looks like you have a lot of backing helping you along, man. So again, congratulations, and bro, thanks so much, man. Getting to know you now, we can chat here and there and see what's next, and get a recap of this fight on the 26th. But with that said, Jojo, social media, any thank yous, special shout outs, sponsors, if you got them, let them out. Now's the time to throw that out there.
Shout out to my boy Jake Caskey, handsome. No, thank you for allowing me to, be on this as well. I appreciate you. I love stuff like this. It's actually super cool to me. Um, and all my training partners in FA, both FA and CT and FA Springfield, appreciate you guys. You know that, and hopefully we can take home this W.
Excellent. Social media, other than I have your Instagram here, is there anything else out there you want to throw?
No, I'm all set. Oh, thanks to my mom and dad for supporting me. That's it too.
Well, you can't forget them. I mean, they got to give you rides around to get here sometimes. You know what I mean? But with that said, Jojo, thank you so much for coming on, give me a word, and learning a little bit about your journey here. But with that said, we'll get a word down the road, and have a ball on the 26th, man. We'll be watching, and we'll be reporting on all the action from that cage.
Oh, you're the man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Love the podcast, and hopefully can be on it again soon.
Definitely, my man. You have a good day.
You too, brother.